Hi everyone. I wanted to go over how to create an APA table for your small writing analysis assignments. So I have some sample text from a writing description, and in there I'm asking you to tell me about a couple things, and I want you to put some of these things in a table, small table, so it's easy to see the information, and so you get some practice making an APA table. So if we read through this assignment description, we're supposed to select a paragraph from any of our readings this week with at least 5 sentences, or a couple paragraphs that have at least 5 sentences together, and highlight the most important part of a sentence based on this reading that we will do. And then I want you to report to me some information. So one, where is the paragraph located in the document? Is it the beginning, middle, or end, or in a specific section? If it is in a section, just name it. So let's just highlight that. Let's make this a little bigger so I can get my menus back. And so we want to do where the paragraph is located, how many sentences are in the paragraph, and how many of the important parts of the highlighted that you highlighted are in the stress position as defined by Gopin. So, and then at the end, suggest a way to change the paragraph or sentence that might align with what he defines. So, the where the paragraph is located and how many sentences and how many of the important parts you highlighted are in a stress position, I want you to put into a table. So I like to build APA tables in Excel, and I just find controlling the formatting a little bit better. So before we search for APA headings, so let's do a search for APA tables, and again, if we type in APA and tables in Google, we can see we get the APA style blog pretty quickly, and the APA style blog can tell you how a table is supposed to look. So the table is supposed to be numbered, like table 1. The table is supposed to have a title below the number, and then it's supposed to have headings and a body. And it says to capitalize the table title in italic title case. So the table is italicized. So let's go ahead and create this. Let's call this table 1. And we want to try and pick a somewhat descriptive title. So let's just call it paragraph attributes, and this is supposed to be bold and italic. So if we go select that, we can select that and make that title there. And then I have an attribute, and then I'm going to have the value of the response. And if we look at this sheet, we can see a nice example here. So we're going to have a table in our italicized, and I think I did that wrong on my example. So the table is going to be bold and the title is going to be italicized. And then we're going to have our column headings with our information. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let's make table bold, and let's take the bold off of our attributes. And you can see here in the table setup that there are horizontal lines around the column headings and then at the bottom of the table. So let's go ahead and put that in. And I know these are going to be my values here. We can go ahead and make this a little bit bigger if we select them and then drag this out. And if you select two columns at the same time and just drag it out, it will make them, it'll drag them both out to the same size. So let's go ahead and put our horizontal lines in here. If we select the cell and we right click and go down to Format Cells and pick Border, then we can select a border, and we want to select the top and the bottom. APA tables have a lot of horizontal lines in them. They do not, very rarely do they have vertical lines. And I'm going to go ahead and center both of those right there. And then let's just enter the things that we needed for our assignment. So the assignment was asking for where is the paragraph located in the document. So let's call that attribute document location, and how many sentences are in the paragraph. Number of sentences, and how many of the important parts you highlighted are in the stress position. And as you make your tables, you want to think about your reader, and I might change this. I use the hashtag for the number sign, and if a reader wasn't so familiar with what I was doing, that might be a little bit confusing. So I'm just going to write that out longhand a little bit, and if something starts to not fit, then you can change that and make that a little bit bigger. If you had any other elements that, you're being asked to report something different, you can put your items in there, but I think that's what I'll, would end up doing for this first assignment. So let's go ahead and put our horizontal line at the bottom. If we select them and right click and go to Format Cells, we're in Border, and we can select that line and put it at the bottom and say OK. And it said to double space these, and you can control the spacing if you select these and drag these down. Then you'll see we can make that bigger. And I might go ahead and just change all these to center all of the text vertically as well. So that looks like that'll work. So this, you can then copy this once it's all filled out and paste it into a Word document. And this is the template that we made before. I think that's the title. I don't think we're going to have any text coming there. So paragraph attributes is where we're going to place that. I'm just going to paste that in there, and you'll see it pastes in pretty nicely. You can actually edit inside of this table right here. I typically, if I'm going to edit anything in a table, I will just get rid of the whole table. And if we hit the back, if you select the table and hit the backspace key, it will delete it. And I think I'll just make this value centered also. So if I change anything in there, and then you can repaste it in. So If I do edits, I like to edit in Excel and just repaste the table in. It looks nicer that way. So that is an easy way to make tables in Excel. The other thing that I look at, the other thing that I did want to show you is in some documents, sometimes you need to have more than one table. And I've done, in the past, written things with a lot of tables, and one of the problems that you run into if you make another table, say below here or on the side of here, sometimes you may need to switch and adjust the spacing, and you don't want your tables interfering with each other. You can, if you're putting multiple tables, you have a couple choices here. You can either make a new sheet and make a new table. If you have a lot of tables, that's a lot of sheets. You can paste a table and skip a couple columns and skip a couple rows and put another table there, and you'll see that our spacing is a little bit different, and you can readjust your spacing there. And that works great. If you have a number of tables, you're going to get a lot of tables going down. You can actually make these sections collapsible, and I thought I'd just show you that in case you're working on something, and this is useful for a lot of different things. And if you can select the section that you want to collapse, and you go to the data ribbon, and you can go to group, and we can make this next one. Go to group, and now these sections are collapsible. So you'll see you have a plus sign when it's something that you can expand, and a minus sign when it's something you can collapse, and that makes it a little bit easier to have the table you're working on available. Not something you have to do, I just thought I'd show it to you as a nice trick. Otherwise, you can just put each table on a new sheet. Just be careful about putting your tables in those places. If you know another way to make tables that you like, feel free to use it. This is just something that's worked for me in the past.